Hey, I'm Brian.
And I'm Torri, and we're some local realtors. And today we just want to discuss some of the most common questions that we get in the field.
Yeah.
So, Brian, what brought you into real estate?
Actually owned a bunch of properties. Was buying, selling, renovating, flipping, and then we're hiring real estate agents to sell properties for me, and realized I should be doing that myself. And so that's kind of what got me in the business. And then I realized it's a lot of work.
It is.
So no more buying and flipping. Now I'm just strictly in real estate.
Just doing all the work.
Yeah.
And making less money. Got it. I'm just kidding. All right. So what are some common misconceptions that you think buyers have during the buying process?
I think a lot of buyers, a lot of family members come to me and they think that they have to write me a check or pay me out of pocket. And I'm like, oh no, we're just here to work together and have fun together. We can worry about that later at settlement, and that's up to the seller. The seller is where I receive commission. So for buyers, you don't owe me anything. We get to work together and be best friends, and that's it.
Fun.
Mimosas too.
I think we mentioned one earlier. You said something about buyers believe that once you start the buying process that you're kind of like locked in with your lender, and that's not exactly the case. So you can definitely shop around.
Definitely shop for different rates, different programs that kind of fit and cater to your specific needs, whether it be down payment assistance or closing cost assistance, or just looking for that special, ARM loan or whatever it might be. Always shop around for the best lender and best rate and program for you.
Yeah. I think another common misconception is thinking that you don't need a realtor if you're buying a new construction property. You should definitely get a realtor, because the person that's selling you the new construction, they're a sales rep for the builder. Most oftentimes they're not even licensed realtors, so they're not really concerned about what's best for you. They just want to get the property sold. So.
And that goes into the actual inspection after the new construction's built. That inspector is hired by that new build.
Right.
You want to bring in your own inspector, and that's where we come in.
For
because
sure.
they're there to represent the seller, not the buyer. So you want your own inspection.
Yeah, most oftentimes they're not even inspectors. They're usually construction managers that are there, and they basically oversee the construction and work with all the contractors and everything. So definitely want to hire an inspector for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Good question, Torri.
So what do you generally look for when you're touring properties with buyers? Like, what are the biggest things that you look for in a house?
Biggest things, I would say systems, your HVAC, your plumbing systems. A lot of our homes here in Frederick are going to be on wells and septic, so you want to make sure and see what kind of the functions are of those. Is there a water softener? Is there a UV filter? Things like that, and how the systems are. But also just looking around for damage and hidden damage that sellers might try to hide. So simply like pulling back some area rugs, maybe. Trying to just get into the roof, just to take a look. We're not inspectors, but at least we know what kind of to look for.
Yeah.
And then always get an inspection.
Oh yeah, for sure. Always.
Brings it back to inspection.
Yes. Oh, and you also touched on a good point. So if you are planning to list your home, the biggest advice that I could give is definitely to be upfront and honest with everything that's going on with the house. The last thing you want to do is create a situation where your buyers feel like they can't trust you, and then they start to look for little things and nitpicks. So definitely be upfront and honest. It makes for a better transaction.
And try to put yourself in your buyer's shoes almost.
Yeah.
Like if you're walking in that house, you don't want things to be hidden from you.
Right.
You want to know what you're getting into.
Upfront.
And buyers also, they tend to think that they're buying a brand new home even when they're buying a previously lived in home. And so you have to kind of like manage that expectation and help your sellers understand that as well.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah.
Well, darlings, thanks for hanging out with us.
And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.